Hey Russ, thank you for your time. If you don't have Carlos Hyde and Chris Carson in this one, just like last week, how much confidence does DJ Dallas's performance last game give you?
Well, DJ gave me confidence during OTAs or Zoom OTAs, whatever you want to call it. I think he was so detailed. I think his college film was great. I think he plays with great confidence. But his game the other day was exceptional. I thought he played a really, really great game. He was on his stuff. He really knew every detail of the game plan for the most part, and just thought he performed. It wasn't too big for him.
Thanks, Russ.
Yeah.
Michael Sean?
Hey Russ, is there anything about the way that you grew up with your dad in particular that shapes the way that you're a father now?
Oh man, a whole bunch of ways. We'll be here for a couple days probably. But I think that if I could talk about one thing I think my dad gave me is he gave me vision. He really taught me about vision, just and believing in that, and just believing what the vision that God's given me, believing in just my own vision, believing in just being creative in every way. I think that's something my dad definitely taught me, and I learned a lot from him. And his birthday's actually coming up soon. On the 9th, November 9th. So it's always an important day for me. And my mom's birthday was on the 4th yesterday. I think that. But I think about both of my parents. They obviously taught me so much, and if I can give anything to my kids, I hope that I can give them a vision of who they're destined to be. And just give them as much opportunity as possible.
Thanks.
Yep.
John Boyle?
Yeah, Russ. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is Buffalo the last, other than the new stadiums, is this the last place you haven't played a game?
Yeah, I was actually talking to Austin about that earlier in the week. I was telling him this is the only stadium I haven't played in. I've been there. I actually got one on a recruiting visit there. Actually, it's me, Chandler Jones, and Trenton Richardson. And I went on my draft recruiting visit there. That was one of the places I went to, and it was a cool place. They love football, that's for sure. Bills Mafia, they love it. So it'll be a great game. We're looking forward to it. They have a great team, and it's going to be a great matchup for sure.
Do you, in a way, just think of that? I mean, you got to play for a while to hit every stadium in the league and play a lot of games. Do you think of that as a accomplishment right there, just that you've now been to every NFL city after?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think to go to every stadium, to be in every stadium, I think that's a blessing in itself, just to think about it. I remember when I was a young kid, I always wanted to go to different stadiums and experience them all, and to be able to play in them all, and hopefully one day winning them all. that would be awesome. But it's just you just every day you can't take this for granted. It's definitely pretty cool.
Maz Vida?
Hey Russ, what is working with the offensive line?
Everything. I think they're doing an amazing job. I think they're blocking their tails off from left to right. They're running the ball. We're running the ball well. I think that just their confidence is extremely high. Obviously, it starts with our leader in Dwayne Brown, who he is. He's an all-pro type player. He's an exceptional player. There's nothing he can't do. His confidence is nobody can really ever get by him. He's a really special player. I think Simmons has really stepped up. Obviously, Mike not going down, whatever, that was tough for us. But Simmons has been unbelievable for us. He had a really good start to his career, and then obviously he got injured. So for him to come back as strong as he's played has been awesome to see. Ethan Posick has really stepped into that center role, and he's so cerebral. He's so talented. A great friend. He's playing great football. And then D. Lou, he's a star rookie, man. He's one of the best in the league at what he does at the right guard position. He's confident. He's quiet. He's a silent assassin a little bit. And then Shell, he's been unbelievable at the right tackle position, just giving me time and keeping space, and he's just done a great job, and he's a competitor. I love it about him. So that whole group up front, the front five, has been really special.
Jen?
You haven't faced the Bills in a while, but you have faced the Sean McDermott coach defense in Carolina. Do you see any of that carryover in the Bills defense that maybe McDermott and Leslie Frazier brought?
Oh, you see a lot of the carryover, and I think they're two great coaches. I think they're two of some of the best coaches in the game of football, and Coach McDermott and Leslie Frazier. I got to be around Coach Frazier when I was at the Senior Bowl coming out actually, and he was my coach and stuff like that. So I got a lot of respect for Coach Frazier and Coach Sean too. He's been special. I've had to go a lot of battles against him over the years, but yes, they move around. They do a great job playing defense, and just they're really aggressive. They're great defense. They've been really great the past few years, really, and how they've played, as a collective group. And so they got a lot of talented players on that defense, from on the defensive line to the linebackers to the secondary. They do so many great things, and it's going to be a great challenge for us for sure.
Adam Kilgore.
Hey, Russ. Having watched DK Metcalf progress from when he got there, and he's still such a young guy, like when you envision what he could become or what his game will look like when he's more of a finished product, like what do you see? Like what can he ultimately be as good as he is now?
Well, I kind of talked about this not too long ago, but I think he's got the work ethic of guys, greats like Jerry Rice, and I remember when I was in college and high school and everything else, watching cut-ups of Jerry Rice and how he practiced, not just the game part of it, but how you practice. And I think that's how DK is. He has a tremendous work ethic at practice. He has a tremendous work ethic in the offseason. We spent, a month and some change together this offseason, and just in Mexico and in San Diego, California, just spending time together. And just, he's one of my best friends. He has a tremendous work ethic. And I think also, too, he's a high-character guy who loves the game of football. He loves people. If you ask me what he won't be able to do or what he can do, he'll be able to do it all. I think he'll be able to do it all. I think he'll break records. I think he'll do all that. The key is staying healthy, obviously. That's always part of this game. I think, I think the cool part is to have that quarterback-receiver tandem is really special. I think we have another one also, too, with Tyler Lockett and who he is, too, as a player. And so to have both of those guys, it's a lot of fun. And then David Moore and Swain have played great for us. But I think DK, it goes back to just who he is as a person. I think, I think he's one of the the best receivers in the game of football, without a doubt.
Bob.
Yeah, hey, Russell, did you have any issue with the hit you took from Jimmy Ward late in the game last week?
It's part of the game, I guess. Yeah, it's we were just trying to get down. It is what it is.
Joe Fan.
Russ, I'm curious if last year, the last couple of games of the season and the first round of the playoffs, how much can you feel Dwayne Brown's presence missing when he's out? And then how big is it to have him there and healthy?
Well, I think, Joe, he's, like I said, I think he's, in my opinion, he's the best left tackle in football. And he's played like it since he's gotten here. He's been unbelievable. He can run, he can block, he can do everything. He's smart, he's intelligent, he's confident, he's a leader. He's a force, when you have him out, when you have that left tackle, and this goes for any quarterback, but, I think when you have that special left tackle, that really does make a difference. I think he plays the position, in my opinion, as good, if not better than anybody else in the game of football.
Art.
Russ, when you were working out with DK in San Diego and Mexico, was there a particular moment or an episode, whether it's a pass reception, a route run, a foot race, something like that he told you, said, "Hey, I haven't seen this before"?
Yeah, there's a few of them. There's a lot of them. There's one in particular. I'll have to share it with you guys one day. I got it saved one day. It's a good one. I haven't.
One day.
Yeah, I'll share it another day. Art. It's got to be seen. That's all I can say. Hopefully you'll see it in the game day too. It's pretty special. But yes, going back to your question, Art, I think he's there's so many things that he's done. I think, listen, I think that I've played with a lot of great players before, and I've thrown to a lot of great players and everything else. I mean, I've thrown to some of the best receivers in the world, and just, playing here, I play with a lot of great guys, and also obviously in Pro Bowls and stuff like that. You throw to a lot of amazing receivers and in the off season and stuff like that. But I think that the marriage of his obviously his freakish ability to run down the field. I mean, there's he runs a 4.32 or 4.31, whatever he runs, and maybe faster on game day, and then his ability to jump and all that. But I think that his ability to catch the football in contested areas, how strong his hands are, how physical he is, not just in the passing game but the running game. But then ultimately, at the end of the day, you got to have want to. You got to have want to. And if you have the work ethic every day and the mentality every day, then great things are going to happen, especially if you match that up with his kind of ability. And so it's I'm glad we're teammates, and I'm glad we're also friends because I love who he is as a person too.
Brady.
Hi, Russ. Excuse me. What do you remember about just your first few interactions with DK, and based on what you had just seen of him before, did anything really surprise you about those first few interactions?
Well, my first interaction with him was actually on FaceTime as soon as he got drafted. I buzzed him, I called him, and he answered. He was all excited and everything. But the first thing he said is, "When we get into work," And I think that for me, I feed off of that kind of stuff. When guys really want to be about the game and trust the process and put all their work into it, you get out what you put in, and it's that simple. And I think that it's something that he's been really special at. I think also too, just he's family to me. To be honest with you, it's just we spend a lot of time together and all that, and how Baby Future loves him. Little Future, he loves him. Sienna. Even when he comes over to he's come over to the house a couple times and just held Win, and just he's family to us, and just it means a lot, and so there's one day he came over, I don't know, during the summertime whenever we were doing OTA or summer training camp or whatever, and he kind of just hung out for 2 hours, and probably about an hour and 15 minutes of that he was holding Win, just so it's just been cool just to he's like a little brother to me, you know what I mean.
And when you guys were down in Mexico and Southern California, what did you do aside from working out? I seem to remember, tell me if I'm wrong, was there a video of you guys in a golf cart? Were you guys golfing at some point?
Yeah, we've done a lot of stuff. I think I told you guys earlier, but taught him how to swim. We played a bunch of golf. He thinks he's Tiger Woods now. All of a sudden, it's like, hold on. He hits one good shot and off the tee, and he thinks he's driving the ball 350. All of a sudden, he feels like he's the best. But we had a lot of fun. Just spending time together. We did that a bunch. And shooting hoops. Playing. Shooting around, having contests and stuff like that. So we've had a lot of fun together.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Greg Bell.
Russ, did you guys, do you know if every single player voted?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, everybody voted, from my understanding, and it's been a cool process just for us to be able to get everybody registered. First of all, that's a thing in itself. I think everybody, especially for the younger guys and stuff like that, to make sure they do that, and then for guys to vote is really, really cool. And so, it's been a cool process of us coming together as a team and as a community, I think. And trying to be leaders in that sense, and just having this gift to be able to play this game.
When John Schneider and Pete Carroll drafted you, did you have any idea this organization would be leaning that much into social causes and beyond football? And what are your feelings about being that involved?
Well, I didn't know. I knew that about Coach Carroll, because obviously from his USC days where he had done a lot of stuff in the LA community, and just from gang violence to so much more, and just helping guys and girls through every situation there in LA. And so I always knew that about him. Actually, it's one of the things I admired about him when I was younger, watching USC days and when they used to play Texas and all those games, and they used to always have Ronaldo used to do those reports on them and stuff like that. I used to always love watching those. But I think that, coming here, I didn't know that, it's pro football, so I don't know. I knew I wanted to be heavily involved in the community and try to do as much as I could personally and Seattle Children's and all that stuff. But I didn't know that the Seahawks organization and really ownership would be so enthusiastic behind the idea of really helping the community and helping others. And I think that's been awesome. That's been the best part about this place. Besides, obviously, championships and winning and all that stuff, it's really to have that with the idea of winning in the community and being a part of that, and everybody, tapping into, this community has been really, really special, I think, over the years. And I think that's continually grown, to be honest with you. I think with the player leadership, too, as well. And I think with the idea of players wanting to be involved, I think it starts with the players. I think, in the sense that I think it starts with ownership and Coach Carroll and also John and all that. But I think in terms of us actually igniting that and actually doing it is it's one thing to talk about it, right? It's another thing to do it, and I think it's another thing to actually make a difference and use your resources and do all that stuff. Not just resources financially, but use resources in terms of time, and resources in terms of energy, resources in terms of networking and relationships, and all of that together is what's really exciting about what we've been able to do here for the Seattle Seahawks, and it's a blessing. Obviously, I know Paul did so much in the world, and I remember he had that game was a pretty emotional game just in itself, and just all the things that he was able to create and do for this community and for this organization. A lot of it was because of Paul. It starts with him, and then I think obviously Jody has taken on that torch, and I think obviously Coach Carroll has done a great job with that too as well, and John. But I think it also goes back to us players and all of that coming together. I think one of the best people in this building, to be honest with you, is Mo Kelly. I think Mo Kelly doesn't get enough credit, but I think he's the person that really allows us players to feel confident in doing stuff and feeling that, make a difference in the world. And I think that Mo Kelly's, in my opinion, he's the most underrated player in the game. I think he's the real MVP, and I think he's the guy who's done so much for this team. And there's so many other people in the building, but I think for us players, on an everyday basis, Mo Kelly has been very, very helpful, as well as the executives and ownership.
Last one for Russell, Ben.
Yeah, Russ, you've talked so much about how many how many extra reps you've put in with DK. Has that been something you've done with Tyler, maybe more so in the past, or is it still the same now, or have you guys always had this just natural connection?
Ben, you said that's something I've done with something. I lost you there for a split second.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, like with Tyler, you've talked a lot about with DK how many extra reps you put in. With Tyler, has it kind of been that same way? Was it maybe earlier in his career where you guys really put in all that work, or was it just really just kind of natural and you guys haven't really needed it?
What's amazing about Tyler and I, we haven't had the fortunate situation to really work a ton in the offseason. For a lot of different reasons. Obviously, Tyler, the first couple of years he kind of got dinged up and got injured there, and then, then so many other things just happen in our worlds and stuff like that. And so, but me and Tyler have always, it's crazy because me and Tyler have been so magical in the field because of how he processes information, and we also always get that extra work after practice a lot, and if anything's ever missed, we always make sure we do it again and do it twice if we have to, and do a few more extra times. And that's kind of been Tyler and I's niche, and we just talk a lot. Me and Tyler are very talkative when it comes to the process of the game and how plays shape up and everything else. And then me and DK are very talkative too as well. But we're also go out there and do as much. So what's been really cool is just how each player's different. Each guy's different. Each person's lifestyle is different and everything else. And I think both of those guys have been always about the work and always about being great. And that's what's been really cool about having a guy like DK Metcalf and a guy like Tyler Lockett and those guys being so special. They make it easy on me, and I'm grateful to have great receivers like those two guys.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you, Russell.
Thank you, guys. Go Hawks.